Hey guys, what's up? I am significantly late. I forgot to set my alarm. That's what happened. Let me let me just uh drop a link in the chats once again. My stupidity is beyond measure. That's not locals. So I started a whole hour late. That is entirely my bad. Uh, Started late. Am gay. Please join. All right. So, yes, sorry. My name is Jacob Davidson. I'm a legal layman from North Texas, and this is a show where I try to learn and educate while learning from the law. And this is a very special day, and it's a day that I am late. God damn it. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully, it's working out and being very well for everybody. Let's see here. Uh, oh. Alright, got my tabs lined up. Wait a minute. Hey, Southern Anarchist. I am significantly late. How you doing? Did a lot of conversation happen between my fucking message and locals? 'Cause I swear I posted it. No, I guess I didn't even post it. God damn it. I'm significantly late. Here's the show. There we go. All right. Oh, fuck. Anyway. Just happy Mother's Day to everybody who's out there celebrating it with their mothers. Sister-in-law graduated university Friday. Cooked 140 pounds of crawfish yesterday for her graduation party. And today was church and pool with the fam. Hell yeah! I need to go talk to my mom and say happy Mother's Day. I slept so much. I don't know why. I forgot to set my alarm. God damn it. So let's get right into it. Fucking I'll do it out of stream. I'm not gonna call my mom while I'm streaming, you dumbass. Because you're a giant homo. It's possible. Yeah, you might be right about that. I need to open up the rants window too. So. Right there. That's good. That's a good spot. Alright, so we're gonna continue off with the topic from yesterday. I'm going to finish up the CNN pollster thing that people are so freaked out about. Don't you love that your most consistent viewers just troll the your most consistent viewer just trolls the hell out of you constantly? Oh, it's great. Love it. Your antagonistic nature is what I thrive on. It gives me something to be witty and quippy back at. So I was right here, I think. Yeah, but Agiesta said it was too soon. It's the same problems that plague pollsters. Yeah, this is where I was. I don't think Trump's comments on polling and the way that he presented his views on polling to his supporters were helpful in terms of response. Yeah, because it created a feedback loop. Remember, Alexander Hamilton got what he deserved. Not because he was a Federalist, because he shit talked someone. It was a whole lot of talk shit, get hit kind of thing. It was an honor situation. And one-year term as president, but I don't know if this is going to be the same in the future elections. The Democratic Polling for Global Strategy Group is trying a significant methodological change, according. Yeah, it's right here in this area. That, in addition to other adjustments like trying to include voters who aren't as politically active, was an important discovery because Global Strategy Group, like pollsters across the public and private campaign world, significantly underestimated Republicans in its 2020 polling. But I think that the stuff that we've done to correct for that, between accounting for past vote history and in the 2020 election, and looking at how important politics is to a person's identity, that's some projection, are going to be able to capture that and correct for these biases that really bit us in the ass in 2020, said Bauman, who is a group at Global Strategy, a partner at Global Strategy Group. I'm still waking up. Fuck me. The phenomenon that led a segment of Trump voters to boycott the polls is similar to the other trends, including those who picked the new polling this week for YouGov, which found that Republicans trust almost all media outlets less than Democrats, with the exception of conservative media. If anybody wants to be honest, it's going to be an enormous challenge if And if it indeed is going to be Trump against Biden in 24, said Don Levy, the director of the Siena College Research Institute, which conducted polling in 2022 for the New York Times and the local cable news outlet chain Spectrum News. Because we know that the voter is disinclined to speak to us. That's only part of the problem that pollsters have identified since 2020. It's not just that voters closely aligned with Trump are harder to reach. Less engaged voters of all stripes are less likely to participate too. And the evidence suggests the best way to reach these voters who very well may cast ballots in high turnout presidential elections like 2020, but are less likely to participate in midterms, remains the traditional and expensive form of phone surveys. Some pollsters have replaced or eschewed that method entirely to save money. Not all protesters see a sharp dividing line between 2022 and 2024. Anna Greenberg, a Democrat pollster whose 2022 client includes Senator Mark Kelly, a Democrat from Arizona, said that while Trump wasn't a candidate for office last year, he was still a major issue in the midterm campaign. Trump was on the ballot, said Greenberg, between Mar-a-Lago documents and the January 6th commission, and then certainly at the statewide level, the so-called MAGA candidates, Blake Masters, Mehmet, and Oz and Doug Mastriano. There was so much coverage of these being his candidates. Overall, the mood at this week's conference was mostly positive, riding high from 2022. Even the prospects of another Trump sparked mislooming the next year's campaign. I'm still worried about 2024, said Bauman. I don't think that any pollster should be out there feeling super confident that we have everything fixed, because we were confident that we did after 2016, and we didn't. Now, a normie looking at this would say they got their algorithm fixed, their estimation fixed, their ability to guess very well about the capacity of a race. But real people will say that this is because that they couldn't have the election run in the way that they wanted it to, because the election went in favor of Trump and not Biden or Hillary that year. So that's the rest of the polls. One, it's a little fucking funny that big election got fucking screwed in the way that they did. And they want so badly to cover their asses this time around that it's embarrassing. New York Post. Let's see what they've got. I covered this very briefly yesterday before ending the show. CNN reporter Oliver Darcy scolded by CEO Chris Licht over emotional coverage of Town Hall report. CNN ripped for leaving Caitlin Collins helpless against Trump's lies, of course. Anderson Cooper says CNN viewers have every right to never watch this network again after Trump Town Hall. Caitlin Collins defends CNN Town Hall with Donald Trump about last night. Oh, that's an interesting one. CNN anchor Phil Mattingly Mattingly mocked by Poppy Harlow for spilling coffee. Well, that's a way of doing it. CNN to offer Don Lemon's former co-host Caitlin Collins primetime slot report. CNN boss Chris Licht told Trump to have fun before going on stage for ratings-boosting town hall. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go there. Let's figure that one out. Chris Licht might be standing up for Trump. CNN reporter Oliver Darcy was reportedly left visibly shaken after his boss, CEO Chris Licht, tore into the liberal journalist over his emotional coverage of the network's town hall Wednesday night, featuring former President Donald Trump. I was literally shaking. Oh, CEO Chris Licht, what is going on? Darcy was called into a meeting with Licht and other network executives who have been frustrated with the backlash CNN received over the town hall, particularly from left-leaning outlets and politicians, Fox News reported. Following the town hall broadcast, Darcy appeared to slight his own employer in his reliable sources newsletter. In the write-up, Darcy claimed that CNN and new network boss Chris Licht are facing a fury of criticism, both internally and externally, over the event, which a source told Fox News appalled other staffers who voiced their frustration with the CEO. I'm asking you to not be emotional, the source paraphrased what Licht told Darcy at the meeting. Licht reportedly said that he wanted to see more objective coverage of all news outlets, not just CNN. Puck News' Dylan Byers reported Friday that Darcy stood by his word, but afterwards, two sources who heard about the meeting described him as visibly shaken. Byers reported Friday. Critics blasted CNN for allowing the former president, now taking his third run at the White House, to repeat unfounded claims that the 2020 election was stolen. Trump also mocked E. Jean Carroll, the writer who successfully sued him for sexual abuse and defamation. Trump has denied the allegations. During the testy moment at CNN's town hall, the president called moderator Caitlin Collins a nasty person, eliciting cheers from the crowd. They cheered because you can see it very clearly from the side. When a nasty person is being a nasty person, it is undeniably a truth. It's hard to see America was served by the spectacle of lies that aired on CNN Wednesday evening, Darcy said in the opening of his newsletter. How Licht and other CNN executives address the criticism in the coming days and weeks will be crucial. Will they defend what transpired at St. Anselm College, or will they express some regret, Darcy wrote. For Licht's part, he seems to express no regret, praising Collins, a rising network star who expected to be promoted from co-hosting CNN's morning show to primetime slot at 9 p.m. You do not have to like the former president's answers, but you can't say that we didn't get them, Licht said at a staff meeting Wednesday morning, according to an audio provided to the Post. Caitlin pressed him again and again and made news. The CNN CEO reportedly told staffers, adding that making news is our job. The network also backed Collins in a statement after the town hall. Tonight, Caitlin Collins exemplified what it means to be a world-class journalist. She asked tough, fair, and revealing questions. Yeah, but she also mischaracterized them in unfair and biased ways. We should probably cover that part first, CNN. Also, I've got a bevy of fucking notifications on Twitter because I said I basically dissed Meghan Markle. CNN boss Chris Licht told Trump to have fun before going on stage for ratings boosting town hall. CNN Chris Licht encouraged former President Donald Trump to have fun in a backstage exchange moments before the start of the town hall. Before taking the stage at St. Anselm's College in New Hampshire, Trump reportedly crowd to the cable news boss that he was about to boost CNN's ratings. Licht nodded in response, then told Trump to have fun, or have a good conversation and have fun. Two people familiar with the interaction told The Guardian. The contentious town hall that the Republican frontrunner for the 2024 GOP nomination, turned out to be a ratings bonanza for a struggling CNN. The broadcast raked in 3.3 million viewers, the cable's network highest total in 2 years. Trump took a victory lap Thursday to gloat over the sky-high ratings he delivered. It was by far the biggest show of the night, with the week and the month, Trump posted on his social media platform, Truth Social. Trump claimed that his Wednesday night performance was sheer brilliance. However, Licht had to face a fury of criticism, both internally and externally, over the event. CNN reporter Oliver Darcy wrote in his reliable source newsletter. Longtime anchor Anderson Cooper told his viewers that they have every right to be angry and never watch his network again during the opening monologue of his AC360. Licht had defended his decision to host the town hall during a 9 a.m. editorial meeting that day with his worked up staff, sources told the Post. You do not have to like the president's answers, but you cannot say that we didn't get them, Licht said, according to an audio provided to the Post. He also rejected the suggestions that moderator Caitlin Collins didn't push back hard enough on Trump's claims about the rigged 2020 election. Caitlin pressed him again and again and made news, the CNN CEO reportedly told staffers, adding that make news was their jobs. Licht decided to host while stepping in to host the 9 p.m. slot Thursday. She called the 70-minute town hall a major inflection point in the Republican Party's search for its nominee. Collins, who rumored to be taking over the primetime anchor chair, went on to remind viewers to remember that Trump is right now the GOP frontrunner, despite the fact that he was criminally indicted, found civilly liable, and is under investigation for everything from his handling of classified documents to his business empire. Feds raise benchmark rate. Okay. And that's the Trump stuff. Chris Licht, man, what a guy. Oh right, I forgot. Before anything else happens, I need to introduce you guys to someone. So I couldn't get his channel yesterday, so please definitely go over and subscribe to Matt himself. That's his Rumble. Here's his YouTube. Southern Anarchist, get on a computer and send me a Rumble rant. Load, you damn page. Cement himself on Rumble and on YouTube. There we go. I meant to share that yesterday, but he left before we could figure out, or I could tell about his stuff. I won't play any of his videos because he should get the views of his own. The Guardian. This is in similar vein to the CNN article or the New York Post. CNN's Trump debacle suggests TV media is set to repeat mistakes of 2026. They are so fucking worried that he has a real chance at re-election. Donald Trump and CNN were in a rare agreement that former president's hour of free primetime television on Wednesday evening, dressed up as a town hall with Republican voters, was a triumph. As a town hall. God, everyone's so fucking mad that a news group dared to give Donald Trump, the presumptive primary candidate for the Republican Party, a voice, a platform. America was served very well by what we did last night. CNN CEO Chris Licht told skeptical members of his own staff at the network daily news conference the following morning. As it happens, quite a lot of people said that not only did CNN fail to get answers, but it also repeated the terrible mistakes of 2016 when it treated Trump as an entertainer, not a hostile politician, by giving him hours of airtime to spout freely because he was good for ratings and therefore profits. CNN is not a news network. It is an entertainment network that posts about news. I am CNN. I am Fox News. I'm trying to get money while reporting some news. And if I can be entertaining in the process, I will try to do that to the best of my ability. Does no one understand what a journalist is these days now? A journalist isn't the hard-hitting, I'm gonna go undercover. It's not James O'Keefe anymore. Modern journalists are just echo chamber spouters and fucking... They keep up the same narrative. They gotta sell the story. They gotta scandalize everything. James O'Keefe might be the only old journalist we have today. And the people that he brings in are his similarly real journalist people. CNN, The Guardian, Fox News, fucking MSNBC. They're not journalists as we knew them before. They're just hacks and fakes. One of CNN's own reporters, Oliver Darcy, was less enthused than his boss. It's hard to see how America was served by the spectacle of lies and that aired on CNN Wednesday evening. You know, I have to ask. I have to wonder. I hope I closed out all of my chats this time. Yep. Alright, outside of this. That's it. That's it. 4 likes and 20 comments. 19 comments, knowing that one of them was a friendly little... I would say the ratio is not working out very well. Very much looking forward to talking to my friend again. What the fuck? Circle malls are great because they help us remember the time. Isn't that fucking Michael Jackson, though? That's not King Tut. That looks like Michael Jackson. No, no, that's clearly the checks with Netflix. Alexander the Great. Biden and Harris don't care about black people. Oh, hell yeah. All right, let's go. Just gonna post that. All right, so CNN News. Let's go. Figure it out. CNN Town Hall with Donald Trump was a cringe-inducing display that CNN damaged CNN's reputation, but one of its rising stars in a no-win situation, cheapened journalism and undermined the political process. Radio Free Tom writes. Is that who wrote? Tom Nichols. Oh man, oh man. Trump snapped at Fox News liar Caitlin Collins, called her a nasty person during CNN's. Trump is the nasty person. CNN's Trump Townhall blasted as absolute disaster. Yahoo News, the Democrats are winning. All we have one name. All I know, we have one name, Joe, and he is hurting America after Trump's town hall on CNN. I realized Biden is really suffering from something like dementia. Trump talked for an hour and was sharp. Biden can no way have a town hall without a teleprompter with real questions. It was actually... what's the word? An anodyne Is that what I'm thinking it means? I'm gonna kill myself if it's not the right meaning. Anodyne. Southern Anarchist, what are you up to? You still doing bullshit? You working? You having fun with the fam? Eating fucking pot roast? Better be. If you're not, I'm gonna hire a troll to come after you. They're gonna troll you for days. I'm just kind of waiting for the page to load. There we go. Anodyne. Anodyne. Twitter would correct me, wouldn't it? Fuck. Tears of the Kingdom is... Okay. It's actually an anodyne for our democracy. However, if it hurts the democracy, then all the better. Because then we'll realize our republic once more. There we go. I'm getting a little annoyed about the reaction to CNN hosting the Trump Townhall. That was Trump's job interview, not CNN's nor the moderators. Please judge accordingly. CNN boss, put the fear of God in the town hall to crying subordinate. Chris looked. He was shaken. He was shooketh. CNN's Trump Town Hall is an abomination, says Michael Fanon from Rolling Stones. Why would anybody trust the Rolling Stones? It's a rag. Remember that time Trump said he would pardon his supporters in jail from January 6th on the CNN Town Hall, even though he let them rot in jail while he was still president? I mean, that's kind of a fair point. They already have in every town hall big guy is done. Look them up. Jon Stewart rips CNN for teaching him nothing about Trump at Town Hall, Huffington Post, latest news. Donald J. Trump's magnificent performance at Town Hall shut down the Jean Carroll hoax hysteria fast. Yep, that it did. Here's this news article. So someone claimed that this might be something to help out Trump's appeal, and I have no faith, no hope that that anything will undo his bullshit that he's got looking to him in the Carroll case, but you know, it's whatever. Let's look it over real quick. Former President Donald Trump was found liable for sexual assault and defamation in order to pay author E. Jean Carroll $5 million, but a curious Facebook post by his accuser may assist his appeal. On April 22nd, 2012, she posted on Facebook that she said, too many good TV shows on Sunday night. My God, what do you watch? Other than spelling "two" incorrectly, the post was not that interesting until you read the comments and share it, and she shares what show she is a massive fan of. Ah, it's loading. Oh fuck! It jumped to a portion. Oh no! It jumped. In it, she said, I'm a massive Apprentice fan. The thread is, as of the story, still live on Facebook, and you can access it here. And see her comments for yourself. The possibility exists that she will delete the thread or her comment, but then again, she may not, as she has already been caught. And Donald Trump Trump Jr. tweeted a screenshot of the comment. Oh yeah, Nick. If you're having trouble with the OBS and RTMPs with locals, you should check their bitmap or their bitrate. It might be a problem. This seems like a perfectly normal thing to say given the accusations. Unless, of course, the accusations were totally fabricated and made up recently as a political hit job. Why did E. Jean Carroll consider herself a massive fan of Donald Trump's show, The Apprentice? Oh, I gotta log in? Ah, oh, damn it. Well, I'll post it in chat just in case anybody wants to go look for yourselves. Now, legally, we have to say that it is possible to be Now, legally, we have to say that it's possible to be a fan of a show that starred a person who said raped you, and that post alone does not prove that she lied to the court in the media. As a journalist, I would love to ask her how she could be a fan of a show and watched a man who she said scarred her for life. Color me skeptical, and judging by some of the comments are on her post, there were many who were skeptical. Massive Apprentice fan? How are you a fan of the show who stars Donald J. Trump? You know, the one who you said raped you all those years ago? I hope our amazing POTUS sues your ass for everything you have. You're a disgrace to women who are true victims of sexual assault. Who put you up to this? One person said 3 years ago. Massive Apprentice fan, let's see if you will delete this post. Another said, Why are you a fan of a guy who supposedly raped you? Another incredulous person queried. A massive Apprentice fan who's you slapped the faces of true rape victims and fraud. You fraud, one woman said. But yeah. It's a pretty bad deal whenever you're... Oh, fuck. It's weird. It's a pretty bad deal when your main... When the person that sues over that seems to have an indication that discredits their claim. California budget deficit has grown to nearly $32 billion, Governor Newsom says. Let's go into this. California is in a sad state. Oh, that's tragic, man. California's budget deficit has soared to nearly $32 billion, Governor Gavin Newsom said Friday as he announced that a plan that would cover the shortfall this year while potentially leaving the state with multi-billion-dollar deficits in the future. Newsom, a Democrat in his second term, proposed no major tax increases for individuals or spending cuts across the state's most important programs, including those impacting public education, healthcare, and homelessness. His plan would cut spending by about $10.6 billion, about $1 billion more than what he proposed in January, while covering the rest of the deficit through a combination of borrowing and delaying some spending while shifting other expenses to different resources. Or different sources. This is not an easy budget, but I hope you see why we will try to do our best to hold the line and take care of the most vulnerable and most needy, but still maintain prudence, Newsom said. Restore the function of helping the needy to the churches, not the government. Unlike the federal government, California must pass a balanced budget every year, meaning the state's revenue and expenses must be the same. Newsom's budget is balanced this year, but in the future, it would commit the state to spending more money than it's projected to have under Newsom's plan. The deficit would be $5 billion next year and grow to $14 billion by 2027. The fact that the governor continues to overspend, creating structural deficits in future years, is fiscally irresponsible, said Assemblymember Vince Fong, a Republican from Bakersville, who is the vice chair of the Assembly Budget Committee. California has a progressive tax system that relies on rich people, meaning it gets about half its revenue from just 1% of the population. When the economy is good, rich people pay more taxes and revenues can soar quickly. When the economy is bad, they pay less taxes or pay less and revenues can drop just as fast. That's why Newsom said it's common for future budgets to be unbalanced, especially during lean years. He also said Democrats who control state government have learned to use the volatile tax system to their advantage. Newsom's plan would leave California with about 3.7 or 37.2 billion in various savings account money that he said could be used in the balanced future budgets. A progressive tax system allows us to stack away billions and billions of dollars for exactly this moment, Newsom said. Predicting how much money California will have this year is especially tricky after a series of severe and damaging storms prompted state officials to extend until October the normal April tax filing deadline for nearly all residents. Newsom said he hopes the state will take in somewhere in the neighborhood of an estimated $42 billion in October, but he doesn't know for sure. I want all $42 billion and more. I want to be surprised. While the governor's proposed spending cuts are small, they are still likely to have an impact across multiple core programs. Newsom's budget includes $3.7 billion for various programs aimed at getting homeless people off the streets and into shelter. But he wants to lower some spending on the related issue of housing even amid this severe shortage. The governor has proposed about $700 million in cuts or spending deferrals by delaying money for programs to help nonprofits turn foreclosed properties into affordable housing, clawing back money designated to turn commercial and industrial buildings into housing. It's disappointing that the governor is not taking bigger measures to fight California's worsening housing crisis, said Michael Paraset, a director of legislative affairs and public advocates, a nonprofit law firm and advocacy group. Until we address the housing issues in our communities at the scale of the problem, we will see more and more of our neighbors struggling, displaced, and pushed into homelessness. Okay, not very much left. Newsom's budget proposal must first be approved by the Democrat-controlled legislature since he took office in 2019. Newsom's biggest budget fight with lawmakers have been over how to spend record-breaking surpluses, and agreeing on cuts would be more difficult. Newsom signed off on an expansion of a subsidized child care program last year that would pay to help an extra 20,000 families, but he now proposes delaying that funding for 1 year, saying that the state is having trouble filling its existing childcare slots. That angered some Democrat lawmakers who said the problem is that there aren't enough childcare workers on Monday. On Monday, Assembly Democrats proposed $1 billion in new spending to increase pay for those workers, and on Friday, Speaker Anthony Rendon said boosting childcare would be a priority. Approving childcare rates help children in the economy, Rendon said. Newsom's budget also would protect spending in other priority areas, such as expanding eligibility for Medicaid and the government-funded health insurance program for poor and disabled people. We appreciate the continued commitment to improving and expanding Medicaid, a lifeline for 15 million Californians over the third of the state, and Anthony Wright, executive director of the advocacy group Health Access California. The budget would loan $150 million to some public hospitals that are at risk of closing. And it would reimpose a tax that expires in 2022 and on managed care organizations, private companies that contract with the state to administer Medicaid benefits, bringing an estimated $19.5 billion in extra revenue to the state by 2026. Newsom said he wants to use that money to increase how much Medicaid pays for care benefiting hospitals and other providers. Ah, fuck. I'm gonna pour this in before the rest of it gets cold. So what I have today, this is a good time to take a break and talk to you about the Dragon's Treasure, a haven for anime and tea lovers. And I have been drinking the apple cider tea. I suspect cinnamon. Yes, cinnamon. Apple pieces, cinnamon, rose hips, orange peel, clove, elderberry, and green rooibos. The taste of Apple Jacks brings us this amazing treat, packed with delicious apple taste and our own special kick. Try out this unique tasting herbal infusion. See these little clumps here, here, and here? That's the cinnamon. Apple cider tea. Every one of these that has fucking cinnamon in them, I love them. I love the taste of cinnamon. It is fantastic. But remember, code Layman at checkout will get you 10% off of all purchases and all sales of the Dragon's Treasure, so you can enjoy fantastic tasting tea with fantastic with fantastic savings. Ew. I forgot it was still hot. Damn it. Wait a minute. I want to try something out real quick. We'll see it here. Okay. Add to cart. Check out. Layman. You can apply the code to... Holy shit. You can apply the code to the Dragon Wings membership. That's fantastic. That is awesome. I I can give you a discount on your membership if you want to buy the herbs and spices. Holy crap. Where's the dragon wing? Where's the dragon wing? Are the dragon discounts? I have to check with the team, man. I have to check with the team, man. That is hilarious. Fantastic. And did the same. I have a I have a mild curiosity that I need to have checked out. I can't buy any of these right now on this because I'm not logged in. All right, home. Let's try it out. Let's see if this will work. I want to see if this will work. I already have that. I do not need it. All right, so dragon, apply. And layman, apply. Oh, fuck. I will come back to that in just a moment. Ha. Ha ha ha. Alright, so you can't multi-apply them. Okay. Alright, sorry. It's time to get back to the articles. That was Dragon's Treasure. Remember, use code layman for 10% off. I got lost in sauce and kind of found it really funny that you could use the discount code for the memberships. So yes, if you've been, if you want to get the membership stuff, get a discount on the sales, or get a membership discount with your discount. A mother was raising her son in a city she loved. Then San Francisco changed and stole her boy. Tanya Tillman, or yeah, Talman, moved to the Bay Area as a teenager to live with her mom. Later, she married and had 2 sons and made a home in San Francisco's historically Italian North Beach district, up the hill from the tourist and financial centers. Even when her marriage broke down, she never thought of leaving. This was her city, her people, liberal, liberal like her, with a mix of income levels and general sense of community. She did not worry about her growing boys going out on the streets, where she herself also felt safe. But those streets has changed, she says. She believes policies from City Hall and even groups who advocate for the homeless have exacerbated some of the problems in the community she once felt a part of has gone, she says. And her son got caught up in a scene you can almost not avoid in the city, the drug scene. Roman Vardanega first tried illegal drugs at the start of high school. Tolman said, taking a prescription medication at a friend's house. He quickly became hooked, his mother said, moving on to cocaine, heroin, and later fentanyl, all available in the city's seedy Tenderloin area. Tillman admits she was uneducated about the prevalence of hard drugs, even naive. But it was not something she encountered every day back then. I think it was a lot worse now than... I think it's a lot worse than when I was growing up here, she said. We used to come to the Tenderloin area when I was a teenager because we thought it was just a kind of fun, edgy... Because it was kind of fun and edgy, and I never, as a teenager, felt unsafe. But I also don't remember being caught up... people coming up to me and asking me if I wanted to buy drugs. One of the first clues her son was getting in deep was when she was with him on a tour outside of City Hall while he was in high school. It was a block from Tenderloin, and some of the unhoused people in the street knew him by name, as if he spent a lot of time there with them, which is what he was doing, scoring his drugs. She tried to help. Vardanega spent the 11th grade in rehab, but persuaded his mom to let him return. She welcomed him home, but so did the streets. He belongs to the streets. By then, her neighborhood had changed, with drugs seemingly freely available. Even just heading home on the Bay Area rapid transit local BART system. When I got out of the BART station, first thing that I was asked is if I wanted to buy drugs, Tillman said. The ease of getting and using drugs made the city dangerous and sometimes deadly playground for people like her son. Vardanega started to live on the streets full-time when the COVID pandemic hit in 2020. The city shut down. The city shut down, residents either left or stayed inside, and at the height of the pandemic, more people died of drug overdoses than COVID-19. All the tents started going up in the city, Tillman said. The open-air drug market became a lot worse, and so it became easier for him to buy drugs and to use it out in the open. And confusingly to Tillman, the city seemed to look away. The city's policies have absolutely hurt my son, has hurt us, and has caused him to, I would say, to go into his addiction even a lot more, she said. If you got busted in drug, most likely you're not going to jail. Police officers would just let you go, she said. That made the situation a lot worse, especially for my son, because he's really young and still kind of like that in that party state of mind. Tillman's state of mind was focused on one goal: finding her son. She knew he was an addict. She knew she loved him so much it hurt, and she knew she would not stop searching until she found him, even if it meant putting herself in danger. She would walk the streets looking at things most people try to avoid, looking directly into the eyes of people living on the streets. Sometimes she got back blank stares, other times a sympathetic ear or a hopeful hint about where her son might be. She didn't find him, but so many people were like him. What makes me sad is I see my son's face in everybody's faces out on the streets, Tillman said. As COVID descended, many housed residents began disappearing, and the tent cities exploded onto sidewalks along with drugs and addictions and signs of mental illness. Mayor London Breed declared a state of emergency in the city to include Linkage Center in Tenderloin, promoted as a place where addicts could get services to help them. When it opened in January 2022, Tillman was hopeful it could be somewhere her son would find himself. And one day, she went to take a look, and when she got there, she heard music blaring and tried to get a look inside. I saw people doing drugs. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this place is where people are supposed to get help. They're actually doing drugs? Tillman said. A little later, she posed as an addict and went to the center for a closer look. I said to them I might want to get off drugs and that I might need help, and they laughed at me. And the guy at the door said, "We can help you do drugs, but if you want to help get off drugs, you're going to have to come back tomorrow," Tillman said. The center had what was supposed to be an area where overdoses could help be treated, but it became known as a place to take drugs and not seek other services. The most upsetting thing was that the harm reduction area was more like a party scene, Tillman said. If my son were to go there wanting to access services, him being addicted to drugs, if he were to see a party scene with people dancing and singing and doing drugs, most likely selling drugs inside, there's just no way he would access services because he would get so distracted to be so triggered that he could go and use. The city's laissez-faire philosophy had just gone too far, she felt. But when you could walk into a store and steal under $1,000 worth of merchandise and get away with it, and that's going way too far, she said. It's going too far when you could smoke crack in front of police officers and police officers just look at you, doesn't even arrest you. The struggle to try and save her son wore her down not once but 3 times, Tillman says. She got so low and so hopeless she attempted suicide. The situation beginning to change both for Tillman personally and perhaps her city. The Tenderloin Linkage Center, which was later named just the Tenderloin Center, closed last December. Tillman has found new support and a mission working in Mothers Against Drug Addiction and Death. A new district attorney took over after the previous one was recalled by voters who perceived him as a soft on crime. Tillman's sons Vardanega got in trouble with the law, served jail time, and was sent to court-mandated rehab program. Incarceration is a good thing for him in Tillman's mind, keeping him alive, off the streets, and giving him a chance in a treatment program. San Francisco is still beautiful to her, with the Golden Gate Bridge, the Presidio, and the Fisherman's Wharf. The Italian enclave of the North Beach, but it has become scarier, and she feels some of the blame has to go to politicians whose jobs it is to clean up the streets. I'm liberal, Tillman said. My politics have stayed the same, and things have gone crazy around me. Hopefully, she can learn her lesson with all this and vote better because she kind of helped to cause this. But yeah, funny story for Happy Mother's Day. From Daniel Perry to Daniel Penny, we go to a new set of fucking things. Daniel Penny released on a $100,000 bail after arrest on manslaughter charge in Jordan Neely's death. Once again, and I reiterate the sentiment fuck the government. Is this... CBS News does not fucking care. All right. We're going bright. Daniel Penny, the man seen putting Jordan Neely in a chokehold on the subway, turned himself in Friday morning and appeared before a judge. The Manhattan District Attorney Office charged Penny, a 24-year-old Marine, with second-degree manslaughter in Neely's death. Just after 8 a.m., Penny and his attorney Thomas Kenneth arrived at the 5th Precinct in Lower Manhattan. Penny appeared sober and did not speak to reporters. Shortly after 8 a.m., Daniel Penny surrendered at the 5th Precinct at the request of the New York County District Attorney's Office. He did so voluntarily and with a sort of dignity and integrity that is characterized of his history of service to his grateful nation. The case will now go to court, Kenneth said. After Penny surrendered, police brought him to Manhattan Criminal Court for his afternoon arraignment, where he waived the reading of his charges and was not required to enter a plea. Why didn't he enter a plea? It's because the grand jury hasn't indicted him. The prosecutor planned to bring this before a grand jury, attorney and legal expert Andrew Lieb said. Hopefully this gets acquitted on indictment or to the grand jury. Because if this gets acquitted in the grand jury, the prosecution cannot try a single damn fucking thing. Who knew the price to pay for a homeless schizophrenic bastard attacking people? The price to pay for protecting other people and maybe yourself in this situation is $100,000. Fuck Alvin Bragg. Eat shit, you piece of fuck. I cannot stand this. Alvin Bragg is corrupt through and through, from Trump to Daniel Penny. Daniel Bragg, or Alvin Bragg, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. The spirit of the American people is not the same spirit as was in 1776. Because if it were, you would be shaking and trembling in your office as we speak. There are not enough lampposts. There are not enough tar. There's not enough feathers. For people like Alvin Bragg, Thomas Binger, and Creighton Waters. Damn it. Prosecutors alleged of the incident. Several witnesses observed Mr. Neely making threats and scaring passengers, and defendant approached Mr. Neely from behind and placed him in a chokehold, taking him to the ground. They said Daniel Penny continued for several minutes, including after Neely stopped moving. During the arraignment, Penny's attorney told the judge Penny has been cooperating with police and the district's attorney's office. He has strong ties in New York City, and he's attending a 4-year college in pursuit of a bachelor's degree in architecture. And he enlisted in the Marine Corps when he was a teenager, spending 4 years there before being honorably discharged. Attorneys added, while serving, Penny earned multiple medals and ribbons for good conduct while serving. Penny was released on a $100,000 cash bail in order to turn over his passport. He is also not allowed to leave the state. Penny's next court appearance is set up for July 17th. At a news conference, attorneys for Neely's family said they thought Penny should be charged with second-degree murder. Neely's father and aunt stood by in silence, too distraught to speak. Hey, Neely's father and aunt, where were you guys in this guy's life to, you know, protect him from himself and what he might do to others? Good parenting and relatives can save a whole lot of trouble for everyone else. Southern anarchist, at times, I feel you and your anti-federal sentiments. I have such an urge sometimes for violence. The consequence to manslaughter 2 is 5 to 15 years. Ask yourself, is that enough? Is that enough for someone who choked somebody on the train and took their life? 5 to 15 years, murder up to 25 to life. So we need a full cup of justice here, and attorney Leon Edwards said. Mr. Neely did not attack anyone. He did not touch anyone. He did not hit anyone, but he was choked to death, and that cannot stand, attorney Dante Mills said. The attorneys described how Neely's mental health declined after his mother was choked to death when he was a child. Despite intermittent treatment and the lack of resources, left Neely homeless and begging for food when he died. For everybody saying, I've been on the train and I've been afraid before, I can't tell you what I would have done in that situation. I'm going to tell you, ask how you can help, please, Mills said. Penny is seen in a video restraining Neely in a chokehold on an F train on May 1st. Neely later died and his death was ruled a homicide. Witnesses told police Neely, a 30-year-old subway performer who was homeless, was begging for food and acting erratic on train before Penny intervened. Penny was initially questioned by police and released the same day Neely died. We've now learned the Civilian Complaint Review Board is investigating the NYPD's decision to not arrest him then. In the days since, Neely's supporters have been taking over streets and subway platforms calling for an arrest and more to be done for New York struggling with mental health. We know it's second-degree manslaughter that the people, the prosecutor, want, but the grand jury is really going to have to agree or disagree with that, Lieb said. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, whose office has announced the charge without an expected grand jury decision, released the following statement after Penny's arraignment. After an evaluation of the available facts and evidence, the Manhattan DA's office determined that there was a probable cause to arrest Daniel Penny and arraign him on felony charges. The investigation thus far has included numerous witnesses and interviews, careful review of photo and video footage, and discussions with the medical examiner's office. As the case proceeds, we will be constrained from speaking outside the court to ensure there remains a fair and impartial matter. Jordan Neely should still be alive today, and my thoughts continue to be with his family and loved ones as they mourn his loss during this extremely painful time. Penny could face up to 15 years in prison if found guilty. The people of New York are Democrats. And democracy basically means government of the people, by the people, for the people. But the people are retarded. Oh, so retarded they are. You know, I kind of want to write a story. Completely unrelated to all this. I think I'll save these topics for another day. I was in a mood last night, guys. I was working in a complete lethargic energy took over me. It was interesting to say the least because, like, I forgot my train of thought. But yeah, I had a complete, like, episode of lethargic energy last night while I was at work. It was a little weird. I went from wanting to do the work, trying to get it done as quickly as possible, to very, very, very quickly, very suddenly, not wanting to move very much. It was a depressive kind of episode, I would say. I got my work done on time, but it was still like, I sat in some places and my brain was just like, why are we here right now? What is the point? What am I doing today? And the answer was nothing. I was not doing anything until I was doing something. And then when I started doing something, shit worked out. Got to work, my energy increased. I had a lot of help. Although I was watching, I went and watched, what's it? Zaju. The Good Logic. I watched Good Logic for a time. And that kind of helped in some way. I don't know why. I don't know why my energy just took a tumble with that, but it did. I'm gonna probably wrap up pretty early. I know it's not the full 2 hours and I have more articles, but my energy from like yesterday is still here. I got back to it a little bit, but I'm still not fully recovered for some reason. I am just in a sad state. It's laughable, really. Yeah, before I wrap up the show, once again, for everybody, the Dragon's Treasure is a haven for anime and tea lovers. You can get very good tasting tea and enjoy fantastic savings with code Layman for 10% off of all your purchases, including the Dragon's Wing membership. It will save you 50 cents off your purchase. And I don't know if you can use multiple savings at the same time. It'll get you access to the membership sales, like some of the membership teas. That butterscotch that I tried out yesterday with Matt himself was a fantastic membership tea. I highly recommend it. So you got Dragon Wells, but King Explosion Murder. They're all fantastic flavored teas. And those are just some of the memberships that you can get with Some of the teas I can get with a membership. Remember, code Layman for at checkout for 10% off of all Dragon's Treasure purchases. It is well worth the price and is well worth the exploration of flavor. Everyone I've tried, I have enjoyed a little. I'm not so keen on the mint ultra mint distinct one, but it is still a good tasting tea, and I don't regret drinking it. It's just not a favorite. And I'll go back over that. This guy feeding a bird in this. Hold on. But yeah, to everybody who watched Southern Anarchist, you little bitch, if you're there, thank you for coming to watching my show. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who came to watch the show. Remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on the like on Rumble and on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. You can find me there where I announce shows regularly. And I have a locals, legallayman.locals.com is the best place to find my is the best place to support me right now. I can get memberships from locals. $5 a month will get you access to exclusive content that I'll start producing for people pretty soon. Soon, hopefully. And I'll be posting announcements regularly there after a little bit. I just need to get a form. I just need to get a template, really. But yeah. Like on YouTube and Rumble. Follow me on Rumble, YouTube, legallayman.locals.com, and on Twitter, legallayman with 2 N's. And use code Layman at Dragon's Treasure for 10% off. Everything can be found in the description. If you want to support, find me there always. And remember, thank you for coming to the show. I appreciate it very much. I'm sorry for being late. I should have been here on time. With all that, thank you much. And I'll see you next time. Hang loose, everybody.